Alright, today's video is going to be, obviously, an older rifle. This rifle is a 1936 Remington model 341P. Now, a few things about this rifle. These were made for about 4 years prior to World War II. The things that stand out about this rifle is that it is tube fed, like the lever actions or semi-automatics would be. This is a bolt action. And this is also a target rifle. It has target sights, peep sights on the back. Front, this patented lifting mechanism was designed to improve accuracy because the lead bullet would not be deformed by touching anything while it was moving into the cylinder. The front sights on this rifle are original. The rear peep sight is not original. The rifle itself is valued at around $375 to $385, somewhere around in that. But the rear peep sight was missing when I got this rifle. Also, the bolt that holds the receiver onto the stock was missing. The parts to replace the originals cost more than the rifle, so I ended up making a new set of rear peep sights. They're not exact to the factory sights, but they're close for a custom set. Now this is the original front sight, and I know that this reticle can be changed out. You can get replacement reticles for this, either originals or reproductions, so you can have different shaped front reticles. The receiver is threaded here and here for a left mount scope. And I have a friend who's got a set of scope mounts that'll probably work for this, and I need to pick up an old Weaver scope for this. So you can use the peep sights and the scope at the same time. Now this rear peep sight is one that I built in my shop, loosely based on the original. So basically it's an L-shaped piece of metal that has bolt holes in the receiver here and here. I made these screws too on my lathe, so these are handmade and hand blued in oil. Now this plate on the side is aluminum, and this rectangular cutout is set to where this peep sight can slide side to side for adjustment, and the screw on the right is for elevation. I'll set this up on a little stand to help stabilize it while I show the functions. On the rear is your safety that moves up and blocks the peep sight, so you can't even see through the peep sight if it's on safe. Move it to fire, you can see through the peep sight. Also, the bolt runs back, and you can see the lifting mechanism where bullets go down the tube and then lift up. And the bolt slides the bullet in. And I'll show you that with a bullet here in a second. Okay, there's no round in the chamber at the moment. It's got a very good trigger. Very nice release. Seems like it would be very accurate. This rifle will shoot 22 shorts. Will shoot 22 longs, which I do not have any, and it will shoot 22 long rifles. Alright, so I counted, and this tube will hold 22 of the 22 shorts, and 16 of the 22 long rifles. So I figure somewhere in the middle on the 22 longs, maybe like 18, 19, 20, somewhere around in there. Being able to hold 22 shots without reloading is pretty nice. So I'm going to load a mixture of 22 long rifle and 22 shorts and cycle them so you can see that it'll cycle one just as easily as the other. Alright, so I've got 3 or 4 of each. So a short, long rifle, a short, a long rifle, and a short. Slide the tube back in and shut it. Now here's the action. The bolt was open already, so I'm going to close it to lower the mechanism. As you can see, it lifts up the first round. This is a short. Ejects that one. It's already got a 22 long rifle in the mechanism. Ejects it. I really like that. So I'm not going to remove the bolt here today, but I will show you a little bit more close-ups about the action. The reason I'm not removing the bolt is that I have to remove the rear peep sight in order to take the bolt out. And I've already got this rifle sighted in, so I don't want to have to go back and do that all over again. So that's one drawback to this. It's very smooth operating. It's somewhere around probably a 4-pound pull. It's a little heavy for today's standards, but seems to be good. So now I'll show you the markings on the barrel. I'm not sure what these two little dings are, probably from use. I won't show you these holes because I've already got this sighted in, but these are threaded holes specifically for the rear peep sight. You've got threaded holes for the scope. 22 short, long, or long rifle. Some more stamps. Remington, REG US Patent Office. The Sportmaster trademark model 341P. Remington Arms Company, Inc. That's Ilion, New York. Made in USA. US patent numbers. Now there's no serial number on this rifle. I think a lot of the 22s, most of the 22s prior to the 60s didn't have serial numbers. This takedown screw I made in my shop on my lathe. It was designed to where it would come loose, but not. I'll unscrew that so you can see the screw itself. Here's the takedown screw, so you can see it slides up and down that shaft, and then the threads actually prevent it from coming out of the hole here, but screws into the receiver here. Under the stock, this is what the receiver looks like. It's rectangular, bulky, heavy. Some rivets. It's kind of rough machining. This is the bottom of the lifter mechanism. I've had this all apart for cleaning. We got some pins, a couple screws. There's a screw that holds the barrel in, and some pins. It's pretty basic, but it is sturdy. The magazine tube, the rod is brass, has a spring and a plunger to keep positive pressure on the bullets so they don't rattle, and also so they'll load properly and feed properly. Here's the retainer to keep it to the barrel, and the knurled knob for locking. Here's another close-up of the front sight. If you ever wonder what that clicking noise is in the background, it's my dog walking on ceramic tile. Hey Bailey. This is Bailey. Here's a view from the front. The view of the crown of the barrel. Here's a view of the inside of the wooden stock. The only thing I've done to this is clean it. I've not refinished the stock in any way, or the barrel, or any of this. The only things I have done is make that takedown screw and the rear sights, and give this a good cleaning and lube. The buttstock is original, and you can see it's been used quite a bit, and the patterning and logo are all but gone off the rear. The wood is in really good condition, hardly any nicks or dings. Varnish is still here. So now I'm going to take this out to the range and shoot a little bit for you. Alright, so let's go out to the range and see how this thing shoots. Thought I had this unchained. And I've got these birchwood Casey shooting C targets here, and I've got some steel plates that I can shoot with a 22. As you can see, somebody really put a number on these things with some Full Metal Jacket AR-15 rounds. And this one right here was a steel core penetrator. You can see which one does the most damage to 1/4-inch steel. So it looks like the Full Metal Jackets go straight through, no issues. The steel core penetrators, they kind of peel away, and the steel core goes through, but it's a smaller hole. Let's do some shooting. haven't done much work out here on the range lately. I'm kind of letting the deer have this area for bow season. As you can see with the humidity out here, these targets immediately curled up, so I'm just going to switch it over to one target and put a clip on both sides. I'm going to show you my monopod for holding my other phone for filming up close. Made a stick and just stuck the phone down in it and pointed it at what I'm shooting. So let's see how this works. Alright, so I've got a camera set up at the target so we can see where I'm hitting, and I've also got a camera here. So I haven't practiced these shots, we're just going to see what I can do. So I've got this loaded with 22 long rifles. Got my hearing protection. Load the first round. It's on fire. First shot, I'm going to try to hit the steel plate. I'm hitting under it. Okay, there we go. I'm going to go for the shoot and see target now. Honestly, this front peep sight is completely blocking the shoot and see target. Pretty sure that this sight was set up for about 25 yards and we're at 50. Let's just see what I can do. I'm going to go back to the steel plate. Go back to the shoot and see target. So I can't exactly see where I hit this plate with the 22. I think that's one. But probably should paint this so we can see where we're hitting it. As far as the shoot and see target, got a nice little group right here low, like I thought I was shooting under it. So I raised the sight to about right here, and it's hitting low, consistent right here. This is not a bullet hole, this is spalling from hitting this plate. As you can see, that lead splatters out sideways. But the actual shots, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right here in a tight little low group. So looks like I'm going to need to raise up this sight a little bit to get it sighted in. That's not bad for not even ever sighting this thing at 50 yards. So tight little group, I can barely even see the target to begin with. Okay, so I put a little paint on this target. I'm going to go back and finish off this tube magazine and see what we can do with it. Take it off safety. We're going for the steel plate. I'll aim at the top edge center. think I hit almost dead center. I'm trying to split the front reticle on the top edge of the plate. See what kind of a tight group I can get. That one went a little high. And that's the end of that magazine. So as you can see, I'm trying to sync up this phone with this phone. So you'll see real time where it's hitting. So we've got 4 shots right here. Looks like we got 1, 2, 3 in the center, one a little off to the left, and that one at the top. So I think you've got 1, 2, and then 3, and then 4. I'll have to look back at the tape to find out. Yeah, well, thanks for coming out to the range with me and taking a look at this review on an interesting old rifle. I know this is not the kind of rifle everybody has. It's kind of a oddity today when we've got so much better target rifles, but this was a pretty good rifle back in the day. And at 50 yards you can see what kind of patterns it can hold with a person who's not honestly familiar with this rifle too much, hadn't shot it too much. And that particular front sight, see that ring, it blocks the entire 6-inch shoot and see target. I could barely make the whole thing out at that distance, so that's causing me issues. But I split the reticle at the top of that steel plate, and you can see what kind of group it got. So probably at 25 yards target shooting, this thing would put every round in the same hole. But thanks for coming out with us. If you like this kind of content and you want to see more, we will definitely be putting a lot more content out. Our YouTube channel is only just starting to grow. So please subscribe and share these videos if you will. And hit that bell for notifications so you'll know when the next one's coming out. Thanks.